Welcome to A Real Authority. Today I'm talking about Scary Movie 6 or just Scary Movie, the sixth installment in the Scary Movie franchise. These installments don't usually have a plot, although it follows in the footsteps of Scream 2022, which you're going to get a lot of horror movie spoofs and hopefully have a good time. Gonna be real here, Scary Movie is kind of a franchise in which I just only started to, invest myself in. Before this year, I actually tried watching the original Scary Movie twice, in which I wasn't able to finish it both times. I don't know why, I guess it just wasn't my thing. But upon rewatch, I was surprised at how much it worked for me. It's a good movie. Flawed and not every joke lands, but you know what? It's definitely an entertaining watch. This franchise falls victim to the law of diminishing returns. Scary Movie 2 is bad, but has probably one of the funniest jokes in the franchise, if I'm being honest. Scary Movie 3 is PG-13, and the Wayans Brothers were not involved because Harvey Weinstein and Miramax actually took the franchise from them, which was kind of ingrained in the marketing campaign, which I really do respect. But yeah, I will admit Scary Movie 3 is entertaining. It's not great, but it's solid enough. Granted, it was directed by David Zucker, who directed the Naked Gun trilogy, as well as the first Airplane, so you're gonna get something special. Although Scary Movie 4, also directed by Zucker, oh, it's bad. No joke lands, barely any mild laughs. And I didn't watch Scary Movie 5 because I heard it was like an all-time low for this series, and none of the original creatives were involved, so maybe I dodged a bullet there, probably. But point is, the Scary Movie franchise is by no means cinema, and what I was expecting of it was just genuine laughs and just an overall sense of playfulness with itself. And it was quite funny being with a rambunctious crowd yesterday at the fan event, absolutely having a blast. I'll say whether the movie's good or not in a minute, and then realizing that the reviews are mixed to negative. I'm quite shocked. I guess I might as well get started. The main thing the Scary Movie franchise has going for it is the comedy, and I do feel the screenplay here from Rick Alvarez and a number of the Wayans, including Marlon, it does a solid job at just being funny. Stupid funny, but stupid funny is still funny, and it just works here. The Wayans really have a knack for just having comedy work, even if it's not the smartest sort of thing. Like, I remember when I was growing up, or when I still had cable, I actually watched reruns of In Living Color, either on VH1 or Vice. Maybe it was mainly because Jim Carrey got his career started there, but I was surprised at how most of the segments throughout all four seasons just worked. A lot of people consider it a great counterpart to Saturday Night Live, and some may argue it's better. I feel like the Wayans really thrived at that sketch comedy format. And with Scary Movie, it's not really about the plot, even though it kind of makes sense to have like a straightforward plot, and this one does have a through line. But this feels more like a sketch comedy masquerading as a scary movie rather than like a direct scary movie. By sketch comedy, I mean as in it spoofs a lot of horror movies from the previous decade or two, because this is the first time in 25 years that the Wayans actually got involved in the franchise. And I do feel like the writing not only interweaves that horror comedy that you expect from a movie like this, having some nice callbacks while expanding on some of the benefits of the first two movies, or at least some of the jokes, I guess. But also, as the marketing kind of hinted, got a lot political. That's by no means a problem. Like, I felt like this movie really understood the task in terms of not giving a damn. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, we're going to mock you. And you're not safe from our comedic grasp. But they also interweave their creative frustrations with the franchise and how Weinstein took it from them. And those jokes really just made this movie for me. I will admit, if you're not a movie geek or in the know like me, it probably won't work. Maybe that's why it's so divisive. But for me, it just clicked. And the consistency of the jokes is the strongest it has ever been in this franchise, which just had me having a blast, mainly. All the performances are great, although it's Marlon Wayans that steals the show, surprisingly. Getting the gang back together means you know the characters from the previous movies that gave strong performances. Yeah, they're going to continue to, but Marlon Wayans' character, I think his name was Shorty, if I recall correctly, he was always like one of the more annoying characters in the original two movies. Not to say that was bad, but he's not as funny as you would hope for. Here, Wayans is at his A game and just giving the most entertaining performance in this entire movie. He's not like the main character, even though he's like top billed, because it's still about Sydney as well as Brenda. But it's going to be hard for you not to smile at what he did. He is tremendous. And he makes his character by far the most entertaining it has ever been. Whether it's within the references or just the sly jokes, it just worked for me, and I was just surprised at how he was the binding glue to the comedy. Not to say that the rest of the comedy fell flat, it didn't, but he was the driving force. So yeah, Marlon Wayans, You crushed it. Michael Tidd's directing was solid. Granted, it's a spoof movie, so you don't really need to have that much structure. But I did feel like his direction, alongside the pretty solid cinematography, like, they definitely channeled the vibe and the style of the movies that they were mocking. Like, you got Sinners in here, and they absolutely try to make it look like Sinners on Kodak film, or at least the shot composition. And I don't know, it was just a touch that they really didn't need to do. Also, long legs in terms of like the cinematography as well as like the editing. They really did their homework and they implemented it in a pretty effective manner. At an hour 35 minutes, the jokes just keep coming in and they don't stop. Not all the jokes are created equally. Like, it starts off strong, by the way. The opening scene is probably the best that the Scary Movie franchise has ever seen. Granted, it's inspiration, no spoilers. Like, it was also the best part of that movie. But here, it was just like, how? And I don't know, I guess going back to the overall, like, reception it has so far, like, the Scary Movie franchise has never been known for being, like, critical darlings. Again, law of diminishing returns. I'm kind of shocked at how divisive it is among fans and critics. And I try to, like, see things from both sides, but more or less as an audience goer. And for me, it was just a constant laugh riot that kind of shocked that a lot of people are saying the jokes are old despite having some laughs. Then I guess my humor's dated. So, now in all seriousness, like, comedy is subjective, but I really do feel like these jokes really rival the ones from, like, the Naked Gun trilogy, quadrilogy. I mean, even the weakest Naked Gun movie, 33 and a Third, and it's not even close, has some solid jokes. But here it's like firing on all cylinders to the point where it's hard not to laugh at least some of them. But for me, it was a constant laugh riot, and I'm just surprised at how much I was engaged with it, considering I didn't have like high expectations for Scary Movie. But seeing the reception, like, I thought once I left this theater, like, everybody was going to love it. By the way, I loved it. It's easily the most entertaining and just general best Scary Movie out of the entire franchise, and it's not even close for me. The first Scary Movie was like a 7. This one just goes all the way. It doesn't stop, and if you want to say the structure is not exactly there, it's Scary Movie 6. You don't need a great structure to make a great movie, especially a spoof movie. And maybe you can argue it's definitely different from the other movies, but I just think it exceeds those movies so much. I don't know, maybe it's just me being in the know of a lot of the jokes and references they were doing, because obviously many people are here for the direct movies that they're joking about, but this movie offers so much more. And if nothing else, it's definitely the Wayans taking back their franchise. And it just worked for me, so say what you will. Maybe you don't like it as much as me. I don't care. Real Authority approves. 10 out of 10. The guilty pleasure movie of all guilty pleasure movies of 2026, and it probably won't have anything taking its crown for a long time. It's just shocking that it's kind of a love it or hate it movie, but I loved it. And I'm shocked not everybody's going like, yes, like Daniel Bryan in terms of like shouting its praises. I wish they did. That's just me. Easily my favorite of the franchise. I am very curious to hear what you thought about it. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and comment your thoughts on the movie and let me know what your favorite Scary Movie is, I guess. And let me know if you've seen In Living Color. All right, peace.